Welcome guys to Joffa Cars and Mistakes. If you're new in the channel, this is a channel from cars and we decided and show our problems we have using these cars daily or annually. Well, today we have an Audi convertible. It's an A4 2-liter diesel with 140 horsepower. It's a very good car. What can I say? It isn't a very bad car. It's good. It's a little bit loud. You know, it's a diesel engine, so it's loud. It's an economical car. You know, we can reach about 7 liters inside the city to do 100 miles. It isn't very bad. It's a heavy car. It has 18-inch wheels and 6-speed manual. It's not very bad for a car like this, you know, 7 liters, more or less inside the town. If you go to the highway, you can reach about 6.5 liters to 100 miles. It isn't very bad. It's cool, it's pretty, you know. Right here where I live, we only see silver Audis convertibles or black Audi convertibles. With this color, this is a factory color. With this color, only saw 2. This one and another one that we saw it from a French tourist that came outside. Well, I like it a lot. It is a beautiful car. It turns around when you pass by the street, you know. It catches your eye. It's beautiful. Now, about the problems we had. I haven't had any problems with this car. The only problems that we had mechanically was the time belt. The brand says that we need to change the time belt 100,000 miles so that it could slap down and it could ruin the engine. That's the only thing we do. Now, I went to the brand and I spent around $900, more or less 800 euros to change the time belt. Now, you can do that service on a local body shop, on your local mechanic, and you can easily save 200 euros, $200 easily if you do it on your mechanic, and the service will always be more or less the same. But for myself, I went to the brand. It spent about that. That's the only mechanical problem that I had on this car. Now, another problem, and this is why I'm doing this video to help you and to do not do this at all. Right here, this is a convertible car. So, right here on the trunk, we got the sensors from the rooftop and the wiring from the rooftop. And I made a classic mistake. I went shopping, and instead of driving another car, I took this one. So, you went shopping, you buy this, you buy that, you put a lot of things on your shopping cart, and when you reach to the trunk, you realize that you're not having a regular car. You have a convertible. So the trunk from the convertible, it's more small. It's smaller. And what do? You do what you do on the regular car. You pack it up. You need to put everything in so you can reach home. That's what I did. Mistake. Do not do this at all, because what do? I put everything that I needed on the trunk. I stack it up. I push. What happens? On these areas, we have a lot of sensors. We have a lot of wiring that cannot be pushed, that cannot be forced, because if one sensor doesn't work at all, or some bump, or some problem, some mechanical problem, whatever, the roof doesn't open, doesn't close, doesn't do it at all. So what happened? I stuck it up. Probably, I guess, I had smashed it or bump it into a sensor. What happened? The roof didn't come up. I had this car for about 10 years. It always worked finally, perfectly. You know, we open the hood, take it, not a problem. Since that time that I went shopping, the car never worked. I pushed the button, no response. I took it to the dealer. It isn't easy to find someone who works on this kind of cars. So I recommend we go to the brand because they're used to, they got all the machines. It's expensive, yes, it was. I'm gonna tell you how much. It's expensive, but it's more safe than you use your local mechanical because it isn't a car that's very usual or very easy to work on. So I went to the brand and they took about 1,000 euros, about $900 to change all the sensors and replace the wiring. That's how much my trip to the groceries cost. Because after that, after I changed the sensors, after I changed the wiring, the car worked perfectly, not a problem. The third problem that I had on this car, or more expensive, was this is a summer car. So, as usual, we only use this car on the summer. So the car sits down mostly at the time of the year. So what happened? The parts, if you don't use the car daily, the parts are gonna start to break down, and that's what happened to the clutch. The clutch has three main parts, as we call volante, bypass, and the clutch itself. If one of those parts fall down, the other parts go almost immediately or nearly by goes down. So this is what happened on this car. The bypass falls down, not because of the use, not because of bad functioning, bad handling, so to speak, but the only problem was that the car sits down a lot of time. We make about 500, 600 miles a year on this car. So it's usually that some parts gonna start to break down, and that's what happened with the Vimass. And a couple of years ago, the Vimass starts to fall down. On the When I was pulling away with the car starts trembling. I didn't know what to do. I didn't realize that was the clutch. I thought it was something else. But when I went to my mechanic, he told me immediately, look, that's the bypass. You need to replace the bypass. And I'll replace the bypass. You need to replace the volant. And you need to replace the clutch. Everything has to be new. And that's easily an expense that can go to 700 to 800 euros, more or less are the same in dollars. So basically, three mistakes. Now, the timing belt, it's a thing you need to do on the Volkswagen group. Volkswagen, Audi, Skoda, those are the kind of cars that have this problem. But it's a problem you have to do. But do not do what I did on the trunk because it was an expense, a very big expense, and you had to break all this down, check it out, everything. Have to do a lot of things. Unnecessary expense, about 1,000 euros that I spent that could have put away easily. I just put something over there. Let's forget about it. But was expensive. Do not do this. Besides, after that time, I don't load anything on the trunk. Just a small bag or a small backpack, and I put them on the corners so that it doesn't goes around messing around. So basically, the trunk is always empty because after that small accident, small problem, I never used the trunk again. And about the biomass, well, if you have a car like this, you probably will have another car that replace on the rainy days, on the winter days, and you don't use it. So damaging the parts, unfortunately, it's gonna be a thing that happens mostly. So I have this problem. I have this car around 10 years, and the only problems that I had on this car, on these 10 years that I had, it's only these three problems. Uh, One is my fault. The other two, maybe. The other one, it's a brand requirement, okay. And The biomass was just bad luck, but it happens. But in the overall, it's a good car. It's a beautiful car. You gotta love it. You gotta like it. I love the color. Many people doesn't like the color. I love this color. It pops out. I always have the feeling that the colors made all the difference because in a few days ago I was standing by an Audi just like this, but was a black on black interior, and it was the same year, a few months difference, and it had nothing to do with my car. My car is more flashy. It's more, I don't know. It looks more luxurious, and I like it a lot. Many people say no, 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 but in the end, I go by the street, and the people they look to the car, and that's the point. Otherwise, why we need a convertible if you don't want to call the attentions? It's a beautiful car, and I hope I have helped you guys. And if my experience can help you save a few money, or save you from problems in the future, I'm happy. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, if you like the video, please press the like button. And I'm posting more videos, and I hope you enjoy. So please, bye bye.